got 3 people in the waiting room. That is so cool. These are my grade 4s. Remember, we've been waiting for this. That's why I prepared lessons for them.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine. Fine, thanks, and you?
I'm happy to see you. I'm just going to wait a few minutes. There's a lot of people arriving in the waiting room.
Yeah, Khata.
All right.
All right. Why do you look different here?
Where?
No, like you
I look different.
connection.
Right, so children, please listen to me carefully. Did you all bring pen and paper and pencils and writing utensils? And have any of you got your little matchstick bundles? Did you make them for me? Or not?
Ma'am, I don't know, ma'am.
Okay, it's all right, because you know what? With the lockdown, it's difficult for you to do these things. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody left in the waiting room? I don't think so. Okay? Manage participants. I think everybody is in. What I'm going to do, children, is I'm going to teach you a very exciting new method today. I think some of you have seen it before, but not all of you. There's a very, very good educator and psychologist. He's British, from England in the UK. And what he has is a method called do, talk, record. Now, with that method, children are allowed to talk. Remember, I said to you, I'm allergic to quiet maths classrooms. I want you to talk to me, right? But not when I'm talking, you need to be very quiet. Otherwise, nobody can hear. So what I'll do is I will explain to you, and then when I've explained to you, I'm going to switch off all of the mics. I'm going to mute everybody. That's what we do in the principals' meeting, right? If you need to say something to me, then just put your hand near your face up like this so I can see it. All right? Then I'll know that you've got a question. But then as I finish explaining, I will then switch all your mics back on, and then we can talk to each other. All right? Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's going to explain to you. Now, I know some of you will have seen this thing before, but I would like you all to see it. So we're going to look at it together. All right. So I'm going to just double check our waiting room. First, put my eyes on. Double check there's nobody waiting for us in the waiting room. I think everybody's in, hey? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. And it's a whiteboard. Okay, so that board, oh dear, it hasn't given me the screen that I saved, but it's fine. I'll do another one for you now. So let's stop the share for 1 second. I'm going to show you the matches and explain to you. Now, you know that we've got numbers up to 10, right? We have numbers,
Yes, ma'am.
digits up to 10. Do you know why we have digits up to 10? Can anybody tell me? Put up your hands if you know. Why do you think we only go up to 10? This is a hint. Yes, Aratile? You know? Who knows? Yes, my angel. Why do we have numbers up to 10?
Ma'am, I think we have numbers up to 10 so that we can have double-digit numbers.
Okay, that's partly it. But Shivashni?
Because you have 10 fingers.
Absolutely, clever girl. So what they used to do in the olden days is they used to use their fingers to count. So I would have to have, for example, Shivashni, put your hands up like this, my angel. Put your hands up. So I would use Shivashni's fingers and I would count up to 10. When I finished all Shivashni's fingers, I'd have to say to, who can I see here? Khomotso. When I count to 10, so I'm going to count Shivashni's fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I count 10, you put up one finger, my darling. Khomotso, put up one finger. Right. Then I'm going to count Shivashni's fingers again. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, I've counted 2 10s, so Khomotso has to put up 2 fingers. Right. And that is how they used to count. Thank you, Shivashni. So have the, like I've got the little matches, right? And we can get matches. They're not too expensive, right? We can get matches They are expensive. Everything's expensive in this day and age, sadly. But we can get a packet with 10 boxes of matches for about 10 Rand. Okay. We can use little sticks from the garden. We can use toothpicks. And then what we need to do is we need to make bundles of 10. So I took my little matches and I put 10 together in a little bundle, right? Then when we do our maths, we can make sure we understand, because there's some funny language that's come into mathematics. Put your hands up if your teachers have told you the word borrow. Who's been told that in maths we borrow? Yes, you see. And when you borrow, don't you give the thing back? Isn't that what we taught in English, that the meaning of borrow is, and also in life skills? When you borrow, you have to give it back. Now, the problem is that in maths, they tell us we must borrow one and we don't pay it back. So we are not borrowing. What we do when we don't have enough units is we take one of our little bundles of 10s and we have to break it open. And then we can use those 10 sticks, right? We're not borrowing from anybody. We're just changing the 10s back into units. So one of my pet hates is the word borrow. The other one is carry. Because when you carry someone, remember you did this lovely thing, I think it was your class. No, maybe it was the grade 3s. Who did the thing about the footsteps in the sand? Was it this year's grade 3s? Hey, last year's grade 2s. Do you remember the little thing they did about the footsteps in the sand? And they were saying that the times when things get very difficult, there's only one set of footprints, and it's because God is carrying us. Remember? Now that is what carry is. When your daddy picks you up if you're not feeling well and carries you. If some of you are so sweet and then somebody gets hurt at school and you carry them. I've seen you carrying them and bringing them to my office or to the front office for help. That's carry. All right. When you come and carry my bags from the car and I give you merits, that's carry. We're not carrying ones. We're not carrying ones. Right. We're taking 10 little units and we are bundling them into a 10. And then we take them and put them where they belong, which is in the 10s column, because we don't have a number bigger than 9. All right. Do you all understand? So that is it's very important for you to understand that all these principles are talking and my phone's going buzz, buzz. I've taken it away. So last night I sat and I made little bundles for you so that you could see. So this is my 10s, right? They're small. They're difficult to tie. Have you got some there, Shivashni? They're quite difficult to tie because I'm using elastic thread. But the big elastics, you've got to wrap them round and round and round. But when we get to school, I'll help you to do this, right? When you take 10 of these little bundles, you now don't have any more space for them in the 10s column. Am I right? So we now have a problem. What do we need to do? We're not going to carry anything, are we? We're going to take all of our 10 little bundles, and what are we going to do with our 10s when they get full? When we get to 9 and we got one more, what do you think we should do? Hey? What do you think we should do with these when we get to 10 of them? No ideas?
Ma'am, please repeat.
We need to make another bundle, don't we?
Yes,
Make a
ma'am.
big bundle, which is 10 10s. It's 10 10s. And those 10 10s then have to go next door into the hundreds, because this is 100. 10 times 10 is 100. Right? Do we all know that? Okay. So we have our little units. And our units, 10 of them together make 1 10, right? Which goes into the 10s column. And then when we have 10 10s, there's no number for 10. Remember, when we have 10, it's not really a number. It's the digits we've already used. It's a 1 and a 0. Now there seems to be somebody in our waiting room. Right. So those 10 10s then become 100. And if we had so many matches, and I know some of you have made them, well done. But if we had so many matches, we could make 10 bundles of 10 of these to make 1,000. Are you with me? And we're not
ma'am.
bundling
Yes,
them
ma'am.
and putting them where they need to go. Okay, so this man, this very clever man called Nick James, what he said is, children don't think in numbers, and it's true. Because if you're trying to explain something to me or to your friend, to your teacher, you do it with language, right? So if you say to me, I'm taking my 10 units, my 10 little ones, and I'm putting them into a bunch and I'm making a 10, you are understanding what you're doing, right? But if I take things and I then, my phone goes all day, children, I'm so sorry. It's because of this. I'm trying to manage everybody's problems. So I just have to ignore it for this lesson. If I bundle these and I say to you, I'm taking 10 little ones and putting them in a bundle, that makes sense to you because you're all very good at English, right? But if I start saying to you, we're exchanging, and I say we are rationalizing, and we're using reciprocals and things, you're going to say, Ms. Boche, that's not our language. We don't know what you're talking about. Am I right? So we need to, what you need to do to help your maths is, number one, you need to talk, right? So you need to explain to each other to say what you're doing. And in the classroom, I want you to try to do that. I don't know if Mr. Nosenga will be there. If he's not, then I will have to teach you, right? And we'll do it together. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, so what we'll do then is, first thing I will do, it's called do, talk, record. Do means you must do something. So if I give you little sucker sticks and you put them in bundles and we do the maths with the sucker sticks, you are doing it. Then it's not some funny formula. It's something that you are doing. We cut shapes, we make shapes, we'll do exciting things, we'll make things so that it's real. Second thing you need to do, guys, I don't know what this is. Maybe someone's stuck outside. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hello, Kathy speaking. Hello? Yes, sorry, I can't hear you, but I'm in a lesson right now. I'm in a lesson and I can't talk to you. I'll phone you back. Okay, thank you. Bye. I think it might not be for me because he thinks I speak Zulu, and sadly, you're going to have to teach me. I don't understand Zulu. All right. Okay. So you need to talk. So when you talk, you need to explain your thinking to yourself, to your mommy, to your daddy, to your friend, to your teacher. And that is the best way to learn. So when one of you understands, do you remember last year? I remember that in Mrs. Taumang's class, some of you would help other children. Do you remember? And some of you would get help from other children. So when things were difficult, you would sit together and the one would explain to the other. Now it's helping both children because the one who's explaining is explaining and remembering better and better, because as you explain, you're teaching yourself again, right? But the one who's learning is also understanding. All right. So let's get to some examples. Let me go back to my share, and we're going to see how we do this, and then we're going to talk about it, and we're going to try. Let's just get back here for a minute. Give me a minute. What am I doing here? You see, children, I think I'm doing quite well. You must be proud of me because I'm not the youngest teacher and I'm doing all of this IT, right? And learning and helping other teachers to do it. So I think we're doing a good job. I think at PLG, all of us are doing a very good job. Okay, so I'm now going to, who wants to say something?
Ma'am, next year I'm not coming next year.
Why?
Because my mom said that I'm going to Pagachi in primary school.
No, we'll have to talk about that, all right? We don't want you to go because you're one of our family. We love you. So we're not going to think about that. For now, you're here with us, and I hope that we can change Mommy's mind, all right? Okay, so your teachers have often done this on the board. Did you see my beautiful big polka dot letters? Did you all watch my videos?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I worked hard. I put these polka dot letters on the back. Well, this is what this is going to be. So I'm going to put here, I'm going to put, what column will that be? That's going to be the units. Do you agree?
Units.
I'm going to put a U over here. This one here is going to be the 10, right?
10.
So I've got to put something in here. Okay, so there's someone in the waiting room. All right, let's hope they're all in now. Okay. Right. So we now have to put our 10s over here in the middle column. Okay, now this is not the easiest app to use because look what the silly thing does. It hides our units, so I need to squash this up. Now the 10s go in here. Oops, I want it to be a big T for 10. Then over here, we're going to have the what?
Hundreds.
Well done. Now this one's also cheeky. It wants to hide the others. You know, they don't respect each other. That's what we need to remember. We have to respect each other's personal space. Hey, children. When we go back to school, we're going to be having to keep social distancing. We're going to have to do Miss Margie hugs. Not going to be able to do normal hugs. Isn't that sad? But at least we'll be safe. Okay. All right, so we've got hundreds, tens, and units. It's a little bit skewed. And I'm going to say, I wanted to do subtraction with you, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type a subtraction problem for us. Let's move this down somewhere here so it's not in our way. And we're going to say, if we have, say, let's make it just tens to start. So we're going to say 32, and we want to subtract 27, right? 32, and we want to subtract 27. So, excuse me, that's not nice to have a dry cough, hey? I have to, when they come and test in my area, which they're supposed to be doing, they don't have to come and tell me that I'm fine. 32 take away 37, I can't do that unless I go into negative numbers. Do you agree? I'm going to have to make it 32 take away 27. That was what I meant to do. 32 take away 27. All right, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
There's nobody else in the waiting room. I see there's a message on the ground. But anyway, okay. So 32 take away 27. That we can do, right? So I've got my 3 and I need to put a 2 here. So let's put a 2 into this column here. A 2. So what do I have? You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have three tens, right? Can you see my 3 tens in my hand here? 3 tens. If you've got tens, you can use them. Now I have to admit someone, I don't know who's there, but anyway, we've admitted them. 3 tens, and then we have 2 little single sticks, right? 2 little single sticks. So you need to know that this is 3 tens, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now I need to take away 27. I don't have the 27, so I only set up the 32 because I've got 32. I need to pay somebody 27. All right, good. I see your little thumbs up. Well done. Okay, now, can I take away 7 units here? There's a problem. I only have 2. How am I going to take 7? Who can give me a hint?
Ma'am, I think you're going to borrow from the other one.
I think you have to borrow, ma'am.
But what happened with that word that I don't like? What am I going to borrow? Who's going to lend me and how am I going to pay back? I'm not going to borrow.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm going to.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah? Is it Kia talking to me? Who's saying excuse me, ma'am?
It's me.
Jumper.
Okay. What do you think, my angel?
Ma'am, I was thinking, like, what about you minus the 2 from that 7?
Okay. You know what I need to do? Yes, I'm going to have to take away 7 from the 2. Not 2 from the 7, 7 from the 2. Hey, is that what you meant?
Oh.
But my 2 is too small. But I have enough because 32 is bigger than 27. So what I need to do is I need to take one of my bundles of 10. And I need to unbundle it. I need to bring it back to the units, right? So I take away my elastic and now I have all of these 10s. All of these little sticks. And to those little sticks, I'm going to add these 2. So how many do I now have? I have my 10 that I've taken from the 10s and I have 2. So I have how many altogether? I have 10 and 2 is? Who can count for me? 10, 11, 12. 10 and 2 is 12, right? So we have 12. Now can we take away 7?
Yes.
We can.
Yes.
So we're going to take away 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what are we left with here? We left with? I've got 12, take away 7, I'm going to be left with 5. Well done. But I don't have 3 10s anymore, do I? I'm going to have to get rid of that. I've only got, I don't have 3 10s anymore. I now have 2 10s. Do you agree? This thing is really not a very good app. I'm going to find another one. Do you know what I did with my grade 10s? I downloaded an app that makes the most beautiful graphs. I have 2 10s left. And then I had for a minute, I actually had 12 units. Do you agree?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I got the 10 and the 2. And then when I took away my 7 from my 12, now this 2 has reappeared, doesn't listen to me. At least you children listen. When I take away the 2 away from my 12, it's back. Sorry, guys. Go away. Text. Yeah. It's not listening. Okay, so I'm going to write. It's going to be easier, even though my handwriting is horrible when I have to do it with a cursor. Draw. So I'm going to say, I've got 2, and I'm taking, please stay here, little box. We don't want to see that 2. So if I take 7 away from my 12, I'm going to say draw, and I'm going to say 7. Take away. See, I look like grade R handwriting here. 12. Whoops. It was 12, take away 7. Am I silly? You must tell me when I do silly things, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 12. Then I need to draw 12.
7.
Take away. Remember, I'm trying to see how you can catch me out. 12, take away 7. And what does 12 take away 7 leave us with?
5.
Well done.
5.
But I know that you know this. You children are very clever. I know you're the cleverest children, and you probably at a level higher than your grade. So I'm not trying to teach you like babies. What I'm trying to do is make sure that you understand the language. Because if you understand the language, even though you already know that 12 take away 7 is 5, you'll be able to do anything, and you'll be able to do the more complicated ones. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the word that I dislike very much with subtraction?
Yes, ma'am.
We can't borrow, right?
Yes.
Can't
Yes,
borrow,
ma'am.
because if you borrow, you pay back. You're not borrowing 1. That's the other thing that upsets me, because what we normally say is you borrow 1. Children, when I'm bringing this to my units column, it's not 1, it's 110, right? So it actually becomes 10 and 2, which is 12. So that is why children get so confused. Okay. I've had children coming to my clinics when I used to run a clinic. I used to run a clinic, and it sounds like a hospital, but it's not. It was a place where the children from Red Hill and Brescia House and St. Lydian were near to my house, so they used to come. And if they had problems with maths, the teacher used to send them to me in little groups, and we used to do little workshops like this. But they would be sitting in my house, and I would give them the apparatus, right? And not a hospital, but it's a hospital for maths. Okay, and you do fun things, and you eat biscuits and cookies, and I think we'll do some of those when we get back to school. All right, so like an extramural, I'll probably be teaching you in your class anyway, but like an extramural, we'll have maths where you come and you do work with me, and we talk and we work with apparatus. All right, so we don't use borrow. What do we use when we've got to change our 10 back to units? We say we exchange. Okay, you exchange 110 for 10 units. All right, then we don't owe anybody anything. Okay, so that's very good. All right, do you want to, there's somebody else in the waiting room. I'm not sure who.
Why are some people coming late?
I think people have got connection problems, my angel, and that's what's difficult, because you know in Springs the Wi-Fi is not, the signal's not the best. All right. So when you add, right, I wasn't planning to do addition with you, but let's just quickly look at the language of addition. Let's quickly do one, and I'm not even going to, I'm going to close this one. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to stop share, right? And I'm going to say, okay, I now have, are there more people in the waiting room? They're terrible. Okay, so I'm now going to say to you, we're going to add, and we're going to see if you can learn that language, because the other problem is carrying. Remember, God carries us when we have problems. Daddies carry us. We carry people when they're sick. We carry bags, but we don't carry numbers, right? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to say to you, if I have got 60, right? So I've got 6 little bundles. Those of you that have bundles, do you have that many? I didn't ask you to get that many, but if you can have, that's wonderful. So I've got 6 little bundles, right? 63. So 6 and 3, right? 63. I'll write it in a minute. 6 and 3. I'm going to put it here on my computer. Okay. And I'm going to add to the 63. I'm going to add 38. So 3 little bundles and 8 loose sticks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I now have 3 and 8 loose sticks. So can we start at 8 and we're going to count up. So we're going to go 8. We add 1, 9. We add another one, 10. Can we have 10 in the units column? No. So what do we have to do? We can't carry. We take those 10 loose sticks. We have to tie them up, right? And that takes time. So I'm going to cheat and use another bundle. So here's another bundle. I've bundled my 10 loose sticks and I'm making a 10, right? And that 10 is going to be not carried, but it's going to go to live with the other 10. So it can't stay in the units column. What am I left with in my units when I've bundled my 10? I'm left with 1 stick.
1.
Right. And I now have how many 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who agrees with me? Who had it? Is it 7 10s?
Yes.
Is it? So then the answer is 71. So what we're going to focus on is real understanding. Did you see the little multiplication booklet that I sent you? Where's Klompo? Which one? Where's
here.
Where?
Here.
Okay, so I can't see you, my darling, because your camera is not on. But it's fine. If you want to, it actually saves you a little bit of data if you don't put your camera on. And anybody who doesn't have data must contact me. I've told you that many times, right? If you haven't got the little booklet and the things that I sent, I think they are on the Google Classroom, but I'll double check, and anything that's missing, I'll add to the Google Classroom, right? So you need to work on that little addition and subtraction booklet. I see some of you have already finished my big challenge. I'm so impressed. So this weekend is my marking weekend. Last weekend was my making videos for grade 4 weekend. So it took me a lot of time because I did a lot of apparatus and stuff. This weekend I'm going to mark everything. So by Sunday night, you should have all of your work back, right? If there's problems and I need to help you, then I'm going to make a time to help you. Okay. But I think most of you are doing very, very well. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't checked today, but last time I checked, most of the people who submitted that assignment, that was an extension assignment, which means it's for extra clever children, which you all are, got full marks, right? So you can be very proud.
What challenge?
It's a
$1
challenge.
million challenge.
It's called, it was called the number journey. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yes, and you were adding and subtracting and doing all these difficult things.
Yes,
Ma'am, I should it, ma'am.
Did you enjoy it?
tricky.
It was tricky.
Yes, ma'am, I think you were talking about the $1 million one, ma'am.
No, the $1 million one you're still working with. Do you all understand how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So what you need to do with the $1 million is you've got to pretend that you are so lucky. You know, somebody in Durban just won the lotto and they won so much money.
Yes.
You are pretending that you have won the lotto and that it is $1 million. So you have 15 million rand, right? Now what you need to do is you need to spend that money. But I want you to buy a house. I want you to buy a car. I want you to plan a holiday for your family. And I don't want you to just do it out of your head. I want you to look at the cost. So I want you to look at Springs and say, oh, I've got a lot of money. Maybe I want to buy a house in President's Dam. Maybe I want to buy a house in wherever you want to buy your house, right? Maybe you want to move to Benoni and live in Lakefield. I don't know. Okay, I want to go and buy a house in Houghton and live with where former President Mandela was, late President Mandela, I should say. You must decide. but you've only got the 15 million rand and you must buy a house. Then you must look at the prices of cars. I've attached some things for you and I will send you more in case you don't have a lot of data. And when your mummies and daddies get your USB sticks, which is what we're going to plan for you, you'll have all of that information on there. All right. So you don't have to go and Google if you don't want to, but you can Google. So you will look for a car. So maybe you want to buy a bakkie because you want to put your dogs on the back. Or maybe we're running out of time. Maybe you want to buy a Mercedes or a 4x4. Or maybe you think, I don't want to spend too much money on a car because a car doesn't get more value. It's a depreciating asset, which means it loses value, right? So maybe you're going to just buy a little car with 4 wheels that is safe, and you're going to spend your money on something else. Then you're going to plan a holiday. Where are you going to go on holiday? Look at the prices. Do you want to go to Disneyland with your family? Are you going to fly in an airplane? Are you going to take a ship? So it's a fun assignment where you can dream. All right. You're going to dream and you're going to look for prices and you're going to see how you're going to spend your money. And then you're doing addition and subtraction for me while you're doing your calculations. Do you all understand now?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll go and see if my instructions are clear and I might give you a few more instructions. But I want you to have fun with it. All right. Don't want you to be stressed. It's meant to be a fun assignment. You're going to do a pretty front page and hopefully you'll be able to give it to me. All right. Shivashni, I love your sticks. They're very nice. So you need to start thinking outside the box. So if you've got lots and lots of hair clips and you don't have matches, use hair clips, right? If you've got pipe cleaners, I don't know what you've got. Maybe in your garden there's little sticks you can use. Find something you can use and you make yourself a little set of maths apparatus. Okay. So grade 4s, we've done a little bit. I think we had to take time because you needed to learn the language, right? So what I want you to remember, are you going to practice and you're going to say, okay, I've got not enough units. I must exchange a 10 for 10 units. If I don't have enough 10s, I must take one of my hundreds and I must exchange my 100 for 10 10s. All right. We're going to throw away those two words, borrow and carry. We're going to use new language so that we understand what we're doing. And I want to do a fractions workshop with you too. So, but we're going to go on to shapes first because I promised you we would do shapes and shapes are fun. Okay. But fractions, we're going to do fun things with fractions as well. Okay. Are you fine? Some of you look sad. Yes, who's saying that?
It's me.
I'm listening.
I just need school.
Yes.
Dog.
Come, I'm listening.
Ma'am, I'm asking when are schools going to open?
My angel, there's an announcement at 4 o'clock this afternoon. They are wanting to let the grade 7s and matrics go back, but the grade 12s, but I don't think they will because it's too soon. And the most important thing is your life, right? We don't want to take chances with you. I want you at school so badly, but I want a miracle to come and this virus to be dead. So long as there's a virus, I don't want you to be sick. I don't want to risk your life or your health. So what we're going to do is we've got to listen to our president and try to all work together. At this stage, we're not going back yet, but we're trying to find better ways for you to learn. So if I can get your mummies and daddies to bring me the USB like I suggested in the newsletter, once we can drive around, then we can put movies on there for you, games on there for you, songs on there for you, and you don't need to spend a lot of data, all right? And you'll also be able to go to school and pick up a big pack with all printing for you, your art stuff if you need it, your books if you need them. That will be a help, won't it?
Yes.
I still have a lot
That
of
is able.
I don't have a printer.
Yes, that's why we'll print it for you at school. Won't that be a big help? So then if mom and dad don't have transport, we'll try and help each other and just find a way to get the work to you. And then you'll have the papers, you'll be able to get your school books, your art stuff, your everything. It'll be better. It'll be much easier. Okay. So just what you need to do is things are very hard for mommy and daddy at the moment. They really are because money's tight. They're sitting at home. They're also worried. And sometimes for them to be with children all day is not so easy because we teachers, that's our job. With them, it's not their job. They love you because you're their family, but you need to make it easy for them. Okay. So your job is going to be to go and say to mommy and daddy, I love you so much. Thank you for all you do for me. What can I do to help? And if you do your homework with a smile and happily, they will be pleased. Yes. What's up, Grandpa?
Ma'am, while we went at school since February, ma'am, we've been doing work, me and my sister and me.
All right, that's wonderful. So I think just concentrate on the lockdown stuff, okay, that you missed, my angel. Don't go back too far. All of you are going to focus on the lockdown stuff. And you must be on Google Classroom, okay? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Whose hand is up? Yes, my darling.
Ma'am, is it true that on the paper you said coronavirus is a crown?
I said it is stinky. I don't like coronavirus. I'm so sad about this virus, but you know what? There's one good thing, and that is that people have learned a lesson. People are being kinder, and the universe has... Do you know that the hole in the ozone layer is fixed? Did you know that? How exciting is that? I'm going to post that for you on your group, okay? So you can see. There's beautiful, beautiful pictures of the hole in the ozone layer that's fixed. And animals that are coming back because they're happy. And even in the sea, there's a beautiful coral that's luminous, and now that coral is now shining again in the night. They can actually see lighting up with that coral. So our world is healing. People are dying, but hopefully doctors are going to find a vaccine, and we're all going to be fine, and our world is healing. So there'll be a much better world for you. Long after I'm gone, you'll still have a beautiful world for you and your children. Okay. Yes, my boy?
Ma'am, what did they fix, ma'am?
The earth fixed itself, because you know what happens is we human beings, we mess up the earth because we fly in airplanes, we burn petrol, we use aerosol sprays and things that damage the earth. And now because we were all locked up, we couldn't drive our big gas guzzling cars and the airplanes weren't flying, the earth healed itself. All right. So it's very nice. It's very good for you. It's a very exciting thing. I was so sad thinking what's going to happen to you when you grow up and what's going to happen to your children. And now because we've stopped for a while, the world is healing itself. Aren't you happy? Okay, with the addition and subtraction, are you all right? Is everybody all right? Okay, so you're going to go and tell mommy and daddy and your sisters and brothers no more borrowing, no more carrying, right? And you're going to explain to them. I see your lovely sticks. Hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Maratile?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so you'll go and just practice with them a little bit, because when I talk to you when we get back to school and when I talk to you in other lessons, we're going to practice that language a lot. All right?
Yes,
Do you all understand the rounding now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You must sing that song, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Flex your muscles like a superhero.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, children. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to book you another Zoom lesson for you soon when more of you have got your matches. And I promise you, and I don't break my promises, that you will get your work, all the work that's handed in, I'm going to mark before Monday, okay? So you can ask Dad on Sunday night or Monday morning, or Mom or whoever checks emails for you to check if your work is back. Okay? Are you all happy? Are you all fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shavashni?
Ma'am, did you add someone to the group?
I gave her mommy the code so she can go and join the group. So I'm sure she will have. Have you, Glumpo? Check with mommy.
Yes, ma'am.
I think she will have. All right. And then we're also looking at maybe doing Google Meet, which is on eClassroom. Then you don't need to do Zoom anymore. Okay. But I'll let you know. For now, Zoom works fine for us. All right.
And the group from the parents, ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, are you talking about the group from the parents?
The Google Classroom is a place where you get all your work. You can go click on your name. You'll see your marks. Okay, I think you're all there. I know, Komako, I've seen mommy and daddy there. So I'm sure you're all there. Yes, Shavashni?
Ma'am, there's a page that it has green blocks. It
That you
has
find difficult. Yes, I'm going to go look at it. I saw your comment. I did look at your comments and you said you need help with the green blocks. So I will go and look, okay, my angel, and see where you need help.
My mom is teaching less than 1 minute.
Yes, I know. It's very short, this lesson, sadly. Okay, does anybody have any maths questions other than Shivashni with the green blocks? I think there's a few of you with the green blocks. Nobody?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
Next
ma'am.
time what we're going to do in our lesson is you're going to share your boards. I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we're going to do maths together. So you'll write on your boards and you'll write with me and we'll share. All right, and we'll see how we do with our maths. Okay. And you've got time